God is good all the time. My name is Joshua Changwony. I'm the Executive Director of Constitution and Reform Education Consortium, CRECO Kenya. That is the abbreviation, the acronym of CRECO Kenya. I'll begin by saying that, and I think Robert did him to say that this network is personal to him. For me, I think it's also more than personal because we are practicing one of the values here, networking. I met Sister Michelle in 2017 when I was engaged by the DW, the German media organization, to train journalists across this country on reporting on elections. And Sister Michelle was managing the Catholic radio in Nakuru. And you know Nakuru is an area where when it comes to an election, it's so sensitive. So she was using the radio to educate the public on how to prevent violence, not wait for violence to occur. And I found that project very admirable. And I think being a networker, she kept on networking until when this distinguished communication network for Catholic sisters was formed. I've been part of this journey in the making of the strategic plan by engaging together with the consultants and also the stakeholders of the network. And she has also privileged me to train a number of Catholic sisters on the monster called disinformation, and malinformation, and digital security. And I think we've had 4 sets of trainings, 1 virtual, then 2 physical. Because again, even as we look at our own personal lives away from the family of the network of Catholic sisters, we have a telephone that also networks you to the outside world. But that telephone can also expose you if you are not equipped with skills and knowledge on how you can digitally secure yourself. Now, there is even the development of technology on AI, artificial intelligence. If you type your name in the platform called AI, will give you information about yourself. Then you wonder where this comes from. And it's not even in minutes, it is in seconds. You will get like 3 paragraphs about yourself. Some not true, some true. But you have no one to complain to say this is not the truth. Because this machine learning, because of advancement of technology, and I think that is now what is making this complex. And we've engaged with the network here because we have a project. We have actually 2 projects. We have a project called Practice of Human Dignity in Society. And that is where Sister Michelle and her team are coming very handy to engage with young people on some of the things that are not really making sense, such as femicide, the practice of femicide. Is that practice of human dignity where you have a man killing a woman who is well known to him, or a boy killing a lady or a girl who is well known to him, and we've seen those cases coming up. It's not what the spirituality that we preach is really characterizing us. And then now on misinformation and disinformation, because common sense of facts is diminishing, it's becoming scarce, and we are challenging the young people who are now the prominent users of these gadgets, that why do they find it as a source of entertainment where people are injured emotionally, mentally, on the information which is false that is spread about them. And that is how we get to create awareness, train people on the use of these technology platforms, including social media, because social media companies now are thriving in this world. The traditional media is slowly losing their power because it has structures such as gatekeeping, editorial management and all that. But everybody now is a journalist. In the world, everybody is a journalist. Everybody is a photojournalist. And we've even taken this beyond, and I think that is where Sister Luciana found a lot of interest in terms of engaging students who are in universities. Our children are going to university in the month of August and September, various whether private or public universities. And we want to engage them from the onset, because the decisions and the choices they make as they interact with friendships that they create there is what is going to inform what kind of people they come out after 4 to 6 years when they come from those universities. And I think the communication network of Catholic Sisters is a very strategic partner for us that we want to build not only just internal capacities and transfer of knowledge, but also enable them to also magnify and amplify the work of Catholic Sisters. And Sister Josephine, you will allow me, with your permission, to use the example. I've just got Sister Josephine, the chair of the Communication Network for Catholic Sisters today, and we happen to come from the same county, and specifically the same sub-county, back home, and you know, where she alights to go home. I didn't know that stage, the Moldova stage. Very interesting. But we have never met. And we were sharing the sad incident that happened in Chesogoj, where in Kenya, a Catholic priest was killed. And I say this with a lot of emotion because that priest really touched lives. And you know, the prevalence of insecurity among the valley. I mean, it forced the Catholic Sisters to send a very strong message to say, we want peace. Their absence for the past few months has been failing the whole of that region. And people are negotiating to say, let's have them back. Because they were offering health care, they were offering accommodation in terms of people who visit Kerio Valley. Instead of coming all the way to Eldoret, they are the guest house in Chesogoj. Now people are wondering the space that they occupied over those years, and they are saying they occupied a space that no one can fill. And that is why when you talk about the work of Catholic Sisters, that is exactly what we mean. The work of Catholic Sisters. Very premier in terms of human dignity and life, in a way that it must be told and protected. And allow me end by saying that yesterday we were commemorating 25 years since Father Kaisa was killed in Lowell. I was not there physically, but we had a team that went there. But I've always been attending the commemoration of, the loss of the life of Father Kaisa. And you can imagine, now is when we are feeling his absence even more than when he was alive. The things that he was advocating in terms of justice, social justice, protection of human rights, anti-corruption, good leadership, the obeying of the people to make their own decisions and choices. But people felt like this was not the right person to have in those spaces, let's remove his life. But you see, that kind of legacy is not something that those people even admire now of their actions, but people who cherish the good things that Father Kaisa did are still continuing to commemorate and tell out the story of Father Kaisa. And I think the work of Catholic Sisters under this umbrella of Communication Network for Catholic Sisters, I think is synonymous to how people come out to say, let's identify those voices in Samburu, in Turkana, in everywhere. And with accuracy, with truth. And you know, the work of the Catholic Sisters, in a way, is so vulnerable. My daughter, whom I came today with here, Talia, maybe you may stand up, schools in Mary Immaculate complex, educational complex. Thank you so much. You may sit down, Daddy. In that school, I've been there since my first one, who is in Form 4 now. I've been a parent in that school.
And there was a parent who just spread in the WhatsApp group that there is lesbianism in Mary Immaculate Party complex. And we were so outraged. A Catholic sister school to have this? And you know, it was just false information. Somebody, because the school is doing so well in Nairobi region, and is so attractive to parents, and people are taking their children there, and people are protecting that identity of Mary Immaculate. So somebody just was cheeky and just threw out those funny things that is what's going on in that school. But just a single communication from the head teacher of the school made everybody believe that there's nothing like that. Then secondly, when there was this inspection of junior secondary school facilities in our country, you saw the name of Mary Immaculate being on the list of the schools that did not qualify and were not even prepared to admit junior secondary what? And the report came from the government. But it was not the true report that came from government, but it was just a journalist who had been hired to dirtify the name of the school. So I mean, so it's so vulnerable. So what if we go to those ones who are in medical field, those ones who are students here, those ones who are like Sister Luciana, who are managing a school like this now, we suppose, even I think this should be a university, Sister Luciana. I mean, and I pray that it becomes a university. It's a constituent. So, but the image of this institute needs to be what? Protected. And it cannot be protected by guns, it cannot be protected by bombs. Accuracy of information. With that, allow me to end there and say, congratulations, Catholic Network for Catholic Sisters.